Today in the Daily Dish, server problems are wreaking havoc with NBA 2K15. A popular feature was removed from the 360 PS3 versions of NBA 2K15 without consumers being informed, and details on the first patch for FIFA 15. Stop me if you've heard this before. The new NBA 2K is out, and you can't play online, or you can't play at all. Unfortunately, it's a familiar story and has been repeated again with NBA 2K15. Last year, with NBA 2K14 on PS4 and Xbox One, 2K Sports essentially designed it as an always-online game. If the servers or your internet went out, you couldn't progress in any mode you had already started. I'm not just talking about being able to play online games, but also your career mode or franchise mode, which was newly revamped as MyGM. Basically, the only thing you could do was play quick games. Now, if 2K's servers were reliable, maybe they could get by with that. But not only were they spotty at best around release, but it was late December and the game literally didn't work for a week. 2K did almost nothing to compensate consumers for that either, by the way. Back to 2K15, and they've improved things a little bit at least. There's a new My League mode which is offline only, so it has no reliance on the servers. However, My Career and My GM still have the VC ties which connect to the servers, so it requires the connection, as do obviously online modes like My Team and My Park. Sadly, the servers have been up and down since the game officially released. On Tuesday night, they crashed hard and not only took with them the ability to play anything other than My League, but wiped out My Players, face scans, progress, and VC collections for many. How scary is it to have to rely on 2K servers for all of this due to everything being stored in the cloud? Other than the servers, this has been a strong launch for NBA 2K15. Yeah, the face scans don't work properly or at all for many, and yeah, people haven't received their promised pre-order bonuses if they purchase digitally, but it's still a really solid all-around product. That's why it's so distressing when the servers go down, because that product becomes largely inaccessible. An important note for those considering the 360 and PS3 version of NBA 2K15. It appears online association has been completely removed without any notice being given. The last-gen version of NBA 2K15 did have some work done to it. It wasn't just dumped and released as a roster update. It has crew mode now and introduced a new charity-driven Legends-involved online competition mode. However, the company did not talk about anything related to the 360 PS3 versions except for those two things. They do have a website which lists features, but it actually shows online association as being included when it's not, which is obviously false advertising. So I just wanted to get that out there for those who have interest in online association, not to buy the 360 PS3 version if its omission amounts to being a deal breaker. Unfortunately, the online leagues remain a joke on the PS4 and Xbox One, so some were planning to go back to the older systems for online association, and they've been met by the surprise that it's no longer there. FIFA 15 has only been out for 2 weeks now, but the first post-release patch has already been completed. It's available now on PC, where no certification process is required, and expected out soon for PS4 and Xbox One. If it was just submitted to them, generally that means a week to 10 days. 2 weeks is a quick turnaround for a patch, and generally that means the company has pushed the update through to address somewhat more severe or time-sensitive issues, or taken care of smaller ones that weren't so difficult to address. This patch hits on some of those things, though FIFA 15 didn't have to deal with any severe problems necessarily. Things like menus not appearing after a FIFA Ultimate Team match, or the ability for someone to infinitely change kick takers on a set piece, those were obviously harming the experience for people that had it happen to them, or in the latter case exploited against them. A latency indicator for Ultimate Team games also goes towards the user experience. Based on past history, a patch that deals with improving gameplay, presentation, and any fixes or enhancements to modes that take into account community feedback in all those areas would still be about a month away. Make sure to check out the next Press Row podcast, which will go out on Friday. It'll feature panel discussion focused on NBA 2K15 impressions. You can subscribe to the Press Row podcast on iTunes or the Stitcher app for Android. I appreciate everyone who listens to the Daily Dish, and I'm glad it's been enjoyed to the level it has so far. Make sure to visit Pastapadre.com each day for all the latest sports gaming news and analysis. Follow me on Twitter at Pastapadre and subscribe on YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow with the next Daily Dish.